What's up, everybody? Go Burns, welcoming you to another edition of my vlog series on my Go Burns Vlogs channel. In case you were wondering, this is where I do vlogs, and I also used to do my Rockstar Editor videos. I've kind of gotten out of the mood of that. I don't think I'll be doing any more for the foreseeable future, but I have been intending on posting a new vlog, but real life stuff happens. And, so much time is dedicated, of course, to posting content over on the main channel, Go Burns, a.k.a. the Go Burns Nation. Currently with over 2,200 subscribers, you guys are awesome. I love each and every one of you. You are the reason for the season and why I keep doing what I do. So thank you all so much for continuing to support both my channels, Go Burns as well as Go Burns Vlogs. And honestly, you guys have no idea what you do for me. I mean, I hear you guys always saying thanks and giving me high praise and telling me that eventually I'm going to be a big YouTuber one day. And if it's in the cards, hopefully it will be. Hopefully so. I mean, I would not mind being a big YouTuber. Obviously not. But at the same time, I'm just grateful. Ah, shit, I'm not. Asshole! What a jerk. I just got this thing waxed. Asshole. But anyways, I am grateful for how far I've come so far with over 2,200 subscribers. On the other channel, growing at least 100 subscribers a week. That is freaking awesome. But I wanted to take the opportunity to start up the vlog series again if I can. And since it's been such a long hiatus since the last vlog, I decided to kind of do a twofer here. Because I feel like the two topics we're going to discuss are very cheery and tying together. Obviously not very cheery. Just as cheery as this rain. Does it ever not rain here in southern San Andreas? I mean, come on. Alright, so obviously if you read the title, and I'm sure most of you have, the vlog today is about loneliness and death. Okay, so let's talk about loneliness first. Let's see, shit. Okay. Vlogging while driving. Maybe not exactly what I should be doing. Oh, and I'm also drinking because it's Saturday night here in the States. So, about a year ago, October 2015, my best friend called me up and had just been fired from his job, and he needed somewhere to stay for a while until he got back on his feet. And I, of course, I let him in, I mean, he's my best friend. He's like a brother to me. I first met him whenever I got into radio. He was actually my boss and my mentor at the time, but he became like an older brother to me. And, he moved in late October 2015. Of course, it wasn't meant to be a permanent thing, but the job market was just terrible, and it dragged on, and eventually, it became difficult to find a job, but, just recently, he finally found a really good job over on the East Coast. And Thursday, he finally packed up and moved away. And, I'm really proud of my friend because he's very hardworking, and he's a great guy. And he wouldn't be a great guy if I didn't consider him to be like a brother to me. And I think it's a great future that he has to look forward to. But at the same time, you get used to, I guess, having somebody around. You get used to having your friend around, especially a roommate that you get along with. And, he would do his thing, I would do my thing. And, on like weeknights or on weekends, whenever he wasn't out with friends or on a date, or I wasn't out with friends on a date, because that shit happens. We're guys trying to make things happen. But a lot of times we'd be binge watching shows on Netflix, like Fringe, Stranger Things, X-Files. I could go on and list more shows. But one of the things we'd like to do is just sit back, watch a show, and make smart-ass comments to each other. And, it became a routine, and it was like we were auditioning for Mystery Science Theater 3000. I don't know if you ever watched that show, but it's fucking hilarious. It's awesome. So anyways, one thing I came to realize earlier this evening was the fact that my routine that I had become used to, Netflixing with my best friend whenever I wasn't out doing something else, on a date or whatever, was no longer going to happen. It was Dust in the Wind over off Ederson. And so it made me feel kind of lonely, kind of sad. Well, I mean, at the same time, I'm happy to have my place back. I love the fact that I have my house back to myself, so I can have these wild orgies with truckers and clowns. I got to make a living, because the YouTube dollars ain't paying the bills. I'm just kidding. Or am I? All right. So, anyways, it's just a weird feeling I'm going through right now. Of feeling kind of alone right now, because I guess you get used to having somebody around, whether it's a friend or a family member or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a spouse, for example. And even if, say, they go on a business trip or something and they're away for a few days or a week or so, if you're used to them being around and you actually like having them around and you're not just tolerating them, then yeah, it can get kind of lonely whenever your roommate, your friend, or your brother or you get the idea, whenever they're gone, whether it's for a few weeks or a more permanent departure, like with my friend and me, who has moved on to hopefully greener pastures. By the way, those greener pastures are right by a fucking beach, so yeah, I'm kind of jealous of him right now. So that's kind of like my dream, either to end up somewhere with a beach or with mountains, or a beach with mountains. That would be awesome. So yeah, I mean, we all go through experiences of loneliness, obviously. And it's not so bad because, I have you guys, my subscribers, viewers, my fans, and getting up every morning to check on my latest video on the other channel and read your comments. Most of them are good. Sometimes a jack or so two stops by. That's to be expected. As they say, don't feed the trolls. Fortunately, I'm pretty thick-skinned. I got thick-skinned during my years in radio. Like, whenever I first got into radio, I was a little bitch. I couldn't take anything. And at the time, my friend I'm talking about, like him and my other friend, they're both pretty close too. They used to freaking like rip on me. Like, I mean, they didn't mean anything by it, but they would rip on me so hard. And at first you get all defensive and shit and bitchy about it and kind of like a drama queen. But eventually, sooner or later that skin starts to get a little thick, and then you start dishing it back at them. And I think that's when we three became really good friends. But anyways, so I don't really give a shit if trolls end up on the channel talking trash to me. What I really don't stand over there is any of like hate speech or whatnot. I always delete that crap. But anyways, obviously, we all deal with bouts of loneliness. But there's always, I guess, what am I trying to say? Okay, there's always the hope that maybe you won't be lonely for long. And you'll never be lonely as long as you have the nearby rest stop to go to. Just kidding. Okay, so obviously I'm taking a serious subject. I'm trying to throw some humor in there. But I guess the point is to value and cherish the friends you have in your life and family members, loved ones, whether it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, life partner. Value that person or persons that give you, I guess, a sense of not being so lonely in this world. And I don't claim to be lonely. I mean, I'm alone. And maybe someday I'll find a little something to fill that void, which wouldn't be bad. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But at the same time, I guess whenever you're used to having somebody around and they're no longer around, there is an absence. And I'll say that's something I'm dealing with right now. On the one hand, I finally got my house back to myself. On the other hand, I was used to having my best friend and his dog around. But at the same time, I wish him the best. So the next topic we're going to discuss, because as promised, we were going to do a 2-for-1 vlog, especially since it's been a while since I've done a vlog, is death. An even better subject, right? Because it's something that happens to us all. And a lot of us have already experienced the sorrow of loss of death, which is, I guess, a lot worse than what I was just talking about, obviously. Because even though my friend is gone and, on the East Coast, living by the beach, at least he's still around. At least I can still chat with him via text or Facebook. And there's always the opportunity for me to go hang out with him on the beach, And if that happens, I may not come back. Like I said, I kind of have a thing for beaches. So death is unfortunately a topic I know all too well, and I guess now's the time to start getting make the topic a little bit more serious. Because I mean, it was serious a moment ago, but I did throw in a little bit of humor. But this time, I'm going to go from gray, kind of like down to I guess a kind of a darker shade. All right, so some of you probably don't know this. I lost my mom when I was very young. I was less than 2 years old. In fact, I was about a month away from 2 years of age, my second birthday, whenever she passed away. And I never knew my mom. And it sucks because, we lose people as we get older. I've lost plenty of people, but at least I have memories of, say, my granny or some of my friends who have died. One died of bone marrow cancer. The other one, unfortunately, when he was a kid, he was ran over by a drunk driver that happened to be driving a big rig truck one night when him and his mom were at an intersection. Completely crushed him. They had to have a closed casket. This was years ago, that one. But at least I have their memories, But with my mom, I don't have any memory of her. None whatsoever. So it kind of sucks because you have to go by, what everyone else said about her. Third person memories. Like my dad's memory, my late granny's memories of her, my papaw's memories of her, other people's memories of her. I don't have my own memories of what my mom was like, her tastes, her interests, or conversations that we had, because obviously I was too young when she died. Now, a few days ago, somebody that was kind of close to my family passed away. And it was kind of a shock. But what gets really, really dark and sad here is that I simply assumed that they passed away of natural causes because he was about the same age as my dad. And my dad's currently going through cancer issues right now. But anyways, back to this other person. He passed away. And I was at the funeral, let's see, what was it? Thursday morning. And I simply assumed that he died of a heart attack or a stroke or something. When you're in your 60s, unfortunately, the chances of that happening dramatically increase. But it was only during the sermon that I came to start piecing the puzzles together that it wasn't natural causes. The guy, unfortunately, took his own life. And obviously, I'm not going to say anybody's name. I'm not going to go any further than that out of respect for his family, because they're going through a difficult time right now. But I've known him since I was a kid. He worked for my grandfather, and he was always a very nice guy. Very warm, very friendly. He always seemed to be in a good mood. He was very religious. And you would never think that somebody that was very religious would take their own life. And that's something I've actually been kind of struggling with over the past few days personally, because I don't claim to be religious. I'm kind of a spiritual person. I do believe in a supreme being, a God. I do believe that there is life after death, that we're more than flesh and bone. But I don't really buy into man-made religions per se. I believe that maybe it's all, a bunch of streams that ultimately possibly flow into the same river, or maybe it's a bunch of nonsense. I honestly don't know. But I do believe that there's more to this life than this. At least I hope so, right? So I have trouble believing that somebody so religious that believes so much in what he believed would ultimately choose to end his own life. I mean, he had a family, he had kids, he had grandkids, he had a career, but the truth is, it just goes to show you that you really don't know what somebody else is going through until most of the time, unfortunately, it's too late. And it's sad because a few weeks ago, I was downtown where I live, and I happened to run across him, and, he said, hey, and I said, hey, and we chatted for a second. And he seemed like his normal, usual, happy self. And now he's gone. And, obviously he's left a void in the world, his family, his friends, because that funeral was packed. it was completely packed with people that were touched and affected by him. That's how much he meant to people. And he didn't, I guess he didn't seem to understand that. He didn't seem to grasp that a lot of people thought the world of him. And whatever problems, whatever issues or demons he was going through, taking his own life was not the answer. And the moral here is no matter how bad things might be for you or me, the good hands that we get, the bad hands that we're dealt, the times when we feel lonely like I felt, the past few days, especially tonight, no matter what, there's really no justification, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, everyone's entitled to their opinion, there's no justification to take your own life. Because there's always a way out, no matter how dark it might seem. And believe me, I've been through some pretty dark days in my life. Like I mentioned, one of them in particular, losing my mom at a very early age. Fortunately, my dad did remarry, even though that marriage didn't work out. But the outcome was I gained 3 sisters. A wonderful stepsister who I consider to be a sister. It doesn't really matter. 2 half-sisters who I consider to be sisters as well. That doesn't matter to me if they're half-sisters or stepsisters. I still consider them to be my sisters. So despite how many bad things have happened in my life, how many tragedies I've had to endure, I'm still here. I'm still kicking. And no matter what happens to me, I'm going to keep going. And you hope for better days, but you also brace for bad ones as well, because that's just the way things go. And let me tell you something. In the event that this is the only life we live, because personally I believe in reincarnation. I believe that I've lived many lives, that we're on the spiritual journey of enlightenment from one plane of existence to the next. That's just what I believe. So I'm not afraid of dying. Because I've had to deal with death my whole life. It's not that I want to die, it's just I'm not afraid to die. And fortunately, I have lived my life the way I wanted to. I have, done things that I've enjoyed doing. I was in radio for a few years. I'm, building my gaming channel. I was politically active, not as much as I used to be. I feel like that, in the words of, I guess Frank Sinatra, I did things my way, for better or worse. And yeah, I made some mistakes. I've done some things that I'm not too proud of. But at the same time, I believe that I'm a better person than I used to be. I'm not claiming to be great or anything. But in the end, we're here for some reason. I don't know why, but you and I are here together on this big, beautiful ball we call Earth. And this may be the only life we get. Or this may be one of countless lives we get. But for now, we must focus on the moment. Where we are now. The fact that we have a beautiful sun in the sky that gives us warmth. That we have air to breathe. That we have water to drink and food to fill our bellies with. And a life that is worth living. Your life is worth living. Just like my life is worth living. And I realize some of you have gone through difficult times. I've read your comments about, some of the things that you've all had to endure. And I completely feel you guys. And I hope that in my own small way, I help you. That I'm just as much here for you as you've been for me. Because yes, I want to grow my gaming channel. But at the same time, I wouldn't be where I am without you. If it wasn't for the fact that you took the time to watch my videos, to like them, to leave comments, intelligent comments, smart-ass comments, or simply just, thanking me for doing what I do, and, sharing my videos and my channel with others, and helping to grow the Go Burns Nation, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And that means a great deal to me. You guys are awesome. And if I could, I would hug each and every one of you right now. I'm not just saying that because I've been drinking. I'm saying that because you guys, and I know I keep saying this, but I'm going to say it again and again and again. It doesn't matter if I have 2,200 subscribers or 22,000 or 220,000 or 2.2 million or 22 million subscribers. You guys are the reason why I do what I do. I love making content. I love gaming. I'm looking forward to Mafia 3, for example. I'm looking forward to Skyrim Special Edition and future Grand Theft Auto DLCs. Hopefully, Rockstar will continue to make a few more. I'm looking forward to the new South Park game, Fracture But Whole, because I'm a huge South Park fan. Well, I can't even talk because I've been drinking, obviously, but I'm a huge South Park fan. I'm also looking forward to the new season of South Park coming up in September. And, you know, you guys inspire me to keep going. So no matter how shitty life might be, especially during election season, obviously I don't really give two shits for either candidate. But despite how shitty the world might seem sometimes, and that's because of us, not because of this world. This is a beautiful world that we're lucky to have. Despite everything, I'm lucky to have you guys. And I might inspire you every day with my videos, and I might give you guys a reason after a long, hard day of school or work. But you guys inspire me. And for that, you always have a special place right here in my heart.